Hi, welcome to Don's Manufactory. Well, I'm back from Ohio. I guess I should let you know a little bit about what was going on. Basically, my cousin Ed wound up in hospice. So my brother and I decided that we would jump in his pickup and camper and drive to Ohio as quick as we could. And maybe we'd get a chance to talk to him before he passed away. And that's what we ended up doing. My brother, his wife, and I. We drove straight through to Ohio. About, how long did it take us? 38 hours, I think. And we had some mishaps on the highway and, all the usual travel stuff. Anyway. But I'm home, safe and sound. My wife's glad to see me. Yay! Okay, so now it's time to get on with stuff for Betsy. While I was gone, a bunch of ball joints that I had ordered came in. They were just sort of scattered all over the bench here. I was just looking at them just to see what's going on. I'll be getting at that. But before I do that, I'm not going to start this ball joint thing yet. Tearing the suspension apart and trying all of this. I think what I'm going to do first and foremost is go after the Clunk and the windshield wipers to make sure the windshield wipers don't fail. I had the clip pop off once, and I need to find out what caused that. It could be anything from a wire or something hanging down, and when the wipers are going back and forth, a wire or something just caught that clip and flipped it off. Whatever, I have to figure that part out. But it does have a pretty loud clunk in it, and I want to find out where that play is. Right now I'm thinking it's in the motor. So the top bushing where the arm hooks to it, I think that bushing is worn, and so it's clunking back and forth. Originally I thought it was the grommets were clunking, but I took care of that the last time and it didn't stop the clunking. So obviously there's play inside the mechanism of the motor or on the actual bushing. But anyway, that means the motor's got to come out and be looked at, and yeah, that's what I got to do. And it kind of pains me that I looked at all of that when I had the cowl out, and I didn't see anything wrong with it, so I just put it back in. That's enough of that. I got to get to it. Tearing apart the wiper motor. Well, I'll have to make a new gasket for it, because that's like all kinds of brittle. Boy, some of this grease is as hard as a brick. Some of it still moves. Well, I think maybe I'll pull this apart. Okay, so this is where the brushes are going to go twang. The beauty of this is, if I screw it up, I can always buy another one. I hope. When you think about it, this motor has 300,000 miles worth of driving in Oregon on it. Wow, look at the length of those brushes. They're still in really good shape, as is the armature. Holy smokes. Well, periodically in here you'll see me just cleaning So much of the grease had turned really hard, so yeah, a little bit of cleanup work to get everything working right again. I really have to get this close here and talk my way through it. So I'm going to move this over here like this and get it down like that. So what I'm assuming here is this contact grounding in here is the ka-tunk, 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 ka-tunk of the windshield washer. This is park position. So when the wiper parks, it comes back and then hits this, and that breaks the connection across here, and it parks the wiper. Stops it from, because it's spinning backwards when it parks. Boy, this grease is as hard as, it's like glue almost. It's so hard. Completely dried out. What I need to do is take this arm off. I need to get this shaft out because I think my clunk is this right there. This shaft here has got a lot of wear on it. It's not, it doesn't have a lot. I mean, I could leave it alone and just listen to it clunk. It really doesn't have that much wear. But it seems like I should make a new bushing for this to tighten that up so it doesn't clunk. But what that will require is I have to get this arm off. Wow, it is really on there. And it was just held on with a little nut. What I don't want to do, see all this, I took that one circlip off of there. I had a little E-clip right here. Hoping I could get this out, get the gear off, find out if the gear has to be on there 100%, but this is all one piece of linkage here. So it has to come off of this gear, which includes all of this spring and linkage. So this thing here, see how this works? That's the park position right there, see? That's running, and then when it spins backwards, it catches on this little dog right here, and that throws it out further so that it can then park the wipers. Okay, well, I'm going to have to take this E-ring off here. E-clip. Okay, just like that. Goes in the bucket. Now this spring, I don't know how many winds it has, but I'm going to have to find out here. See, another spacer, can't forget that. It's got quite a bit of wear in it too. Not a lot, but considerable. Now this shaft has to come out. There it goes. Finally. Okay, so the next thing is, how much wear does this shaft and bushing have? Not bad. This shaft is in really good shape. 2 shims on the top of this arm. Okay, so I got this bushing out. The shaft is out, and this is the bushing right here. It's got some wear on it. So what I want to do is replace this if I can. I may have to get something larger and turn it on the lathe. I don't know. We'll see. I just got back from Ace Hardware, and this is what they had. So the flange isn't as thick as the original, but I got these bushings that I can put on there, so it shouldn't make a difference. So all I got to do is cut as much off of this as I want. I don't necessarily have to cut it off the same exact length. I could leave it a little longer if I wanted to. And it's just perfectly the right size, 3/8 of an inch with no play. So I whacked that bushing off and put it in there. So now that has a new bushing on it. Now what I'm going to want to do is limit this end play. Here's a thinner one. It's got the perfect diameter. So what I'll do is put this between there and there. Oh, perfect. That's perfect. So I'll just grease all that up. This didn't have a lot of grease in it to begin with, but it turned really hard. So, I'm just trying to make sure that all the parts move. See, right there you can see the dog. That is the parking pawl dog. And it is engaged to park the wiper right there. Okay, this little contact here only goes in one way. You got to make sure you get it right, and it's just a grounding contact for your washer pump, and it has to. The whole thing kind of has to go together all at one time there. You got to get her lined up there, and it falls into a couple of slots in the housing, and you can see the dog is rotated. And now for this little mechanism here with the spring on it, it only goes in one way. So you just fiddle with it there. You'll see that the little pins that lock it in, well, they're offset to one side, so you can't goof it up unless you try forcing it. Okay, so now before I put that down on there, come on. Yeah, I'm fighting that contact just a bit. There we go.
Now basically just assembling the E-clips back into it and remembering to put the correct number of spacers in the right spots. You could call them washers too, I guess. And now for the spin test. Yes, this is rotating in the normal way. And you can see it just oscillates the shaft back and forth. And it's traveling on the inside radius because the park pawl is just clicking over as it goes around. See, now it's going backwards. Picks up the parking pawl, which throws the arm out to a larger radius so that the wiper thinks park. Or basically it's just making them travel further, so when you turn it off, they go down and rest right above the molding.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grease this bearing on the brush side of the armature. I'll put a little bit in there, but I'm going to clean the excess out. Okay. So that is everything except for the contact plate.
So you can see right here the extra rubber washers that I put in to tighten up the grommets. So the arm is in the parked position right now, and I do that on purpose because it makes it smaller and easier to go in. But when putting those clips on, you have to turn on the key, let the wipers travel up to their upper position, and then turn the key off so that you can then reach up and put those clips on.
Okay. Let's see about tightening this up.
Yeah, now we're just making a gasket here.
Okay, now this is in park position, which means it's over this way.
Cleaning up the gaskets. Oh yeah, always got to do that stuff.
Well, I doubt the wipers are going to be that much quieter. The big clunk's going to be gone, but the little clattery clunks from the linkage is still going to be there. But I really didn't have to do anything to it if I didn't want to, because there just wasn't that much wrong with it. There wasn't that much play. I'm just blown away by how little wear there is on this wiper motor, considering it has spent its life in Oregon. And it's got 300,000 miles on the car.
So at this point, I'm afraid of tearing the gasket because I've already cut it. So I pinch it between the plate and the block so that I can drill the holes for the screws to go through. It was, I probably should have knocked the holes in it before I cut it to size, but whatever. Okay, now just reassembling it. Pretty basic stuff here. Now here, what I'm doing is I'm making a ground lug. My thought is that if I want to get rid of the ka-chunga, because I've got a regular centrifugal type pump for the washers, then I can just clip it onto that and it'll make it run full time.
Make sure that I have all of the wires and cables and things out of the way of the wiper of the arm.
And you can notice that the upper bolts here, the bracket only has a slot. It makes it real easy to go back in. You can just slide it on those upper bolts and you don't even have to take them out.
I mean, I suppose I could have cleaned this all up and made it just perfect, but hey, this is the way it was. June 8th, 1965, 66. Well, that wraps up the windshield wipers, except for the test. Now, let's see how much noise they make. Okay, they are hitting something for sure under there. Guess I better figure out what that is. There's always something, don't you know? Let's see, I left something down here in the way.
Turned out to be the defroster hose.
One more time. So that completes today's task. Wipers have been removed. We'll call it refurbed and back in. So that leaves one more thing to talk about, and that is I was going to go to Power Tour this year. Unfortunately, with my 3-week stay in Ohio and stuff like this needing to be done, I still have the ball joints to do. So one thing that I learned on my trip back to Ohio is just how far I can drive before it's unsafe for me to continue to do so. And so that driving by myself, no relief driver, it would take me 5 days because I'm only going to drive 8 to 10 hours a day, and then after that I just can't function. So I need a good night's sleep every night. It takes 40 hours to get there. The Power Tour, so that's 4 days, and not gonna happen. Right now, let's see, Power Tour starts on the 10th, and what is this, the 27th? 26th, tomorrow's Sunday. So it's the 26th, and it starts on the 10th, so that's like 14 days, including travel time. And there's just no way the car's going to be ready or that I'm going to be ready. Anyway, so no power tour for me this year. Okay, that's just the way it works. Thanks for watching Don's Manufactory. I'll catch you later.